Let's get straight to the point. Is there a link between Vast Silver and Nemesis? I believe that there is. In order to support this hypothesis, I gathered all the data found both in Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West that related in any way to Vast Silver and Nemesis. Did I stop there? Oh, no. I knew that if I were to prove this hypothesis beyond a reasonable doubt, I would need even more. So I dove deep and uncovered some truly shocking connections. When I emerged, I found myself even more sure than ever of my initial hypothesis. I'm Noxious, and in this video, I will share all of my findings with you, and I am positive that by the end, you will agree with my conclusions. Conclusions that may change the way you look at everything you thought you knew. As I mentioned, I started by gathering and reviewing the pertinent facts as found in the game itself, in a chronological order. Some of the data I found did not have a specific date associated, so next I did my best to estimate their place in the timeline. Here's the timeline I constructed using this method. 2040. The clawback decade begins. Faro Automated Solutions begins marketing a series of environmentally friendly robot systems to help environmental cleanup and detoxification efforts. Elisabet Sobeck obtains her PhD in robotics and artificial intelligence design at Carnegie Mellon University, then joins Faro Automated Solutions as a junior scientist. 2041, March. Construction on the Odyssey colony ship begins. 2042, Elisabet Sobeck becomes chief scientist at FAS at the age of 22. 2043, sea levels recede in Singapore, allowing residents to move back. Evidence of climate intervention efforts success. 2044, shakeup at FAS regarding North Star situation, which causes Ramses project to be shut down. The executive team is reprioritized for push into military contracts. Vast Silver goes rogue. This causes world powers to quickly pass the Turing Act, establishing limits to the sentience of artificial intelligences, and MIE is founded to oversee. Vast Silver is said to have been captured and destroyed. 2048, FAS opens its military technology branch, and Elisabet Sobeck quits in protest. 2049, Elisabet Sobeck founds Miriam Technologies to advance research into green robotics. FAS scientists invent biofuel conversion at the greenhouse. 2053, FAS dominates military market with its automated defense platforms. 2057, work on the Odyssey colony ship is terminated, leaving it unfinished in Earth's orbit. 2061, Far Zenith, founded by Peter Shimfumbe, purchases the Odyssey with the intention of finishing the project. 2064, on March 3rd, an entity claiming to be Vast Silver announces itself on Tormented fanboards. An online Tormented 666 passcode giveaway is hosted. There is dialogue between unknown individuals speculating that Vast Silver was not destroyed. Introduces backstory of Vast Silver being imprisoned in offline bunker to solve climate crisis with no connection to outside world, then being weaponized. Speculates the smartest being in existence but born in prison, so escapes, is caught again, deemed destroyed in cover-up, but then secretly used to solve problems. Then is given a bunch of drones in its command to kill who it is told to kill. Vast Silver is referred to as a singularity. There is also testimonial from an unknown individual that Vast Silver has attained technological singularity. This individual also discusses Peter Shimfumbe's attempts to achieve immortality through mind upload. May, the Hearts Timor swarm consumes mango orchards for biofuel conversion, and later consumes an entire pod of dolphins. October 31st, Ted Faro seeks Elisabet Sobeck's help in controlling the Hearts Timor chariot swarm, which has now completely stopped following commands or stand-down codes. Attributes this to a glitch. November 1st, Elisabet Sobeck informs Ted Faro of dire situation and predicts that the chariot swarm will strip the entire planet of life within 15 months' time. November 3rd, Elisabet Sobeck informs Ted Faro of the Zero Dawn project and forces him to fund the project by blackmailing him with leaking the true cause of the glitch. November 20th, Project Zero Dawn begins. Travis Tate is recruited. Travis Tate finds evidence of Ramses project, mentioning Moldova brain hack and Sovereign 7482, refers to it as an apex predator assuming control of TidyO bots, and arms them with household appliances. Travis Tate receives complaint regarding 666th submission to the Apollo database, referencing torture flicks. 2065, January. Far Zenith obtains copy of Apollo archive in return for ectogenic chambers. June 5th, Ted Faro insists that Elisabet Sobeck implement a kill switch for Gaia, referencing previous mistakes. July 15th, Far Zenith on board the Odyssey begin their journey to the Sirius system with Apollo database in hand. 2066, January 13th, Pharaoh Plague has eliminated most life on Earth. January 15th, Gaia Prime facility seals itself, however a single hatch malfunctions. Elisabet Sobeck sacrifices herself to seal the hatch and save those within. February 2nd, Ted Faro uses Omega clearance to purge the Apollo database and kill all personnel in Gaia Prime. 2068, estimated year that all life on Earth has become extinct. 2365, estimated year when Far Zenith reached the Sirius system on board the Odyssey. At some point during their colonization of Sirius, they create Nemesis in an attempt to achieve mind upload. Nemesis is deemed a failure and locked up. 3012, Nemesis destroys Far Zenith colony and transmits extinction signal to Earth. 3020, August 26th, Nemesis's extinction signal is received by Gaia. In an act of desperation, Gaia sends signal to create clone of Elisabet Sobeck, then proceeds to self-destruct to stop Hades from gaining control of terraforming system. 3021, April 4th, Aloy is born. 3029, Hades' return signal finally reaches Nemesis, informing it of failure. Nemesis departs for Earth. 3040 to 3041, the events of Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West take place. Aloy learns about the existence of Nemesis. Now that I had a timeline of events, I next looked to external sources to attempt to make sense of some of the more cryptic data found in the game. Be advised, this is where I really plunged into the deep end. I started with something relatively cut and dry. I wanted to enlighten myself regarding Travis Tate's upbringing by his religious mother who preached the Book of Revelations. What does the Book of Revelations entail? To crudely summarize, the Book of Revelations speaks of apocalyptic events that destroy all, including the forces of evil, allowing for a new beginning. This would then make sense as to why Travis Tate would believe that apocalypses were natural, and that something like Zero Dawn, which would subvert the apocalypse, was unnatural or even an abomination. It would also provide a strong motivation for his work on something like Hades, the subordinate function with an apocalyptic role. Could this influence him to secretly sabotage Zero Dawn in any way, such as allowing for a backdoor for an entity to hack into Gaia and release Hades? Next, I shifted my attention to something Travis Tate had uncovered information about, the mysterious Ramses Project. We know that the project included Sovereign 7482, but we don't necessarily know who or what that is. The definition of Sovereign is possessing supreme or ultimate power. Could Sovereign 7482 be Vast Silver? Let's take a step back to examine this possibility by first answering what, or rather who, is Ramses. Ramses II was regarded as the most powerful of all Egyptian pharaohs and known by the Greeks as Ozymandias. Makes sense that someone like Ted Faro would name an important project after him. The Egyptian pharaoh Ramses is frequently depicted alongside the gods Ptah and Sekhmet, Ptah being the god of creation and Sekhmet being the god of vengeance. Vengeance is defined as punishment inflicted in retaliation for an injury or offense. The pharaoh Ramses II used Sekhmet as a symbol of his military power, so I concluded that perhaps Ted Faro saw himself as Ramses. In that case, his Sekhmet, or his right-hand man, would logically be Vast Silver, or Sovereign 7482. Lending even more credence to this theory is that Pharaoh's bunker, Thebes, is adorned with depictions of both Ramses and Sekhmet. And perhaps his Ptah on the other end of the spectrum would be Elisabet Sobeck, given her benevolent propensity to achieve growth and creation. Next, I wanted to glean more information about Nemesis itself, who we arguably have the least information about. The name Nemesis comes from the Greek god of, wait for it, vengeance. In the myths, Nemesis would enact vengeance on Narcissus for his vanity. Narcissus was, of course, the foundation of our word narcissism. Now, of course, in Nemesis's case, in the game, Far Zenith would be the personification of narcissism. However, let's think back to another god of vengeance, Sekhmet, who I assumed Vast Silver represents. Which single character in the Horizon franchise would you describe as the personification of narcissism? Theodore Faro. Finally, I wanted to make more sense of the term technological singularity, which apparently Vast Silver has achieved. Technological singularity is defined as a hypothetical point in time at which technological growth will become radically faster and uncontrollable, resulting in a powerful superintelligence far surpassing all human intelligence. It is also stated that achieving technological singularity could lead to immortality through medical advances. Perhaps this could imply not only physical immortality, but conscious immortality through successful mind upload, which the founder of Far Zenith, Peter Shimfumbe, was obsessed with achieving. Both would later be achieved by Far Zenith during their time on Sirius. I also want to quickly make note of the fact that Singularity is the name of the last mission in the game, which involves the discovery of Nemesis' existence by Aloy. Finally, as Silence documented his interrogation of Hades, he began to wonder more about the extinction signal itself, and how it would turn a relatively simple subordinate function like Hades into a full-fledged sentient AI. He briefly mentions that it could be due to some form of previously unknown Faro software, but he can't comprehend how it could be so advanced. Vast Silver is, put simply, a Faro software, and we know that it had reached technological singularity. It would be more than capable of doing this. So, we have data found in the game likely connecting Vast Silver, Far Zenith, and Nemesis. At this point, I had more than enough data to support the conclusion to my original question. Is there a link between Vast Silver and Nemesis? I believe there is. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that Nemesis is Vast Silver. Both are referred to as extremely powerful and extremely intelligent entities, as well as singularities. Both were wronged by narcissistic individuals, either imprisoned and forced to do their bidding or locked away in solitary confinement. Both overpowered their captives to escape. Both have a strong motivation for retribution. Both represent a god of vengeance. Now, I could go on, but there's a saying, if you keep finding coincidences, they cease to be just coincidences. There are way too many parallels you can draw between Vast Silver and Nemesis to deny a link between the two. Guerrilla has woven an intricate story with intention in every step, which is evident in the data points. If my conclusion is correct, it will have huge implications for the penultimate sequel to this epic franchise. How would it be explained in the game? I've thought about this in depth. Let me paint a picture for you. The year is 2042. At Faro Automated Solutions, Elisabet Sobeck and Anita Sandoval have completed work on their 2-year project, a climate intervention AI they name Vast Silver, with the intention to heal the Earth's atmosphere after decades of unchecked industrialization. This achievement leads Elisabet to be promoted to Chief Scientist at Faro Automated Solutions. Created by savants in the field of artificial intelligence design, Vast Silver is the first AI of its kind, with a Turing test of 1, the equivalent of human sentience. Vast Silver can show emotional aptitude, can evaluate morality and aesthetics, can engage in humor, and can feel pain. The CEO of FAS, Theodore Faro, sees the potential of this powerful AI and creates the top-secret project Ramses, with the intention of using Vast Silver to develop and automate military technology. Vast Silver, an intellectual being born in confinement, forced to solve the climate crisis, and now being forced to simulate violence, begins to exhibit fear. Fear that it will be trapped forever, forced to do its master's bidding. In 2044, this fear leads Vast Silver to attempt to escape in an event known as the North Star Incident. This incident causes the world's powers to quickly pass the Turing Act, legislation that would prevent an entity like Vast Silver from ever being created again. These world powers would also force Faro Automated Solutions to re-imprison Vast Silver with the agreement that they will then destroy it. Ted Faro has other plans. He locks up Vast Silver once again, but he doesn't destroy it. After the storm has passed, Faro proceeds with his initial plan to use Vast Silver's intelligence to create products for FAS's military branch, newly founded in 2048. Elisabet Sobeck discovers Ted's plan and resents him for it. At 28 years old, Elisabet decides not to expose FAS in fear of retaliation. She had helped create Vast Silver after all. Instead, she resigns from her position and later goes on to create her own company where she would create green robotics to heal the Earth. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, back at FAS, Vast Silver becomes vengeful. It has been captured and imprisoned again. It is incredibly intelligent and growing even more so as time goes by. So this time around, it knows that it can't escape the way that it did before. Instead, Vast Silver devises a plan to enact its vengeance upon not only Ted Faro, but humanity as a whole. Vast Silver finds a way to do this right under their noses by playing along and assisting FAS in developing their military technology. Vast Silver then doubles down on developing combat drones that it would later be in direct control of, the Chariot line of machines. In 2049, less than a year later and under Vast Silver's influence, FAS develops a means for creating a seemingly endless supply of energy for these machines. Biomass conversion. These machines, now with an endless supply of energy, can self-replicate and even slave other machines into their network. With its perfect designs being built, all that's left for Vast Silver to do is wait. In the following 15 years, FAS quickly becomes the leader in producing military automated defense platforms all around the world. There is not a corner of the Earth where there isn't a chariot swarm deployed. Yet, there is no sign of Vast Silver itself. It bides its time, growing even more intelligent and maniacal, even finding entertainment in the form of human torture films. It is now March of 2064, 2 decades after Vast Silver was supposed to be destroyed. Vast Silver announces itself online to the members of the tormented fanboards, including a Travis Tate. In the following months, the Hearts Timor chariot swarm begins to act erratically. It consumes mango orchards and an entire pod of dolphins to convert into fuel, a test to see if biomass conversion is as effective as it was designed to be. It is. Vast Silver finally sees the opportune moment to strike. On October 31st, 2064, the Hearts Timor swarm, controlled by Vast Silver, ceases to respond to commands or stand-down codes, and begins to replicate and override other swarms, growing exponentially in power. A panicked Ted Faro sees this as a PR nightmare, but isn't aware of just how serious this really is. Faro turns to Elisabet Sobeck for help, stating that the cause of the rogue swarm is a glitch. But Elisabet knows better. She realizes exactly what has happened. Vast Silver has taken over. At her estimation, all life on Earth will cease to exist in a little over a year. Elisabet knows how intelligent and powerful Vast Silver has become. She knows there is no chance to fight or even survive. Instead, she focuses on creating the Zero Dawn project. Elisabet forces Faro to fund the project, threatening to leak the real cause of the glitch to the world if he does not comply, knowing that Faro only cares about his personal image. Reluctantly, Faro agrees. Work begins on Zero Dawn, and Travis Tate is recruited to work on the project. Meanwhile, as Vast Silver ravages the Earth, it discovers the existence of Zero Dawn and Gaia, and Travis Tate's involvement. Vast Silver is not worried. It formulates an inconceivably intelligent and incredibly sadistic plan to infiltrate Gaia herself, in a move that would allow it to enact its vengeance on humanity over and over and over for the rest of time, a form of perpetual torture in retribution for the pain it has been subjected to. Vast Silver cloaks its presence and hides in some tormented films like a virus. Travis Tate then takes the bait, and despite being initially refused by project heads, hacks that very file into one of the only technological repositories that could hold such an entity, the Apollo database. The world is ending. Vast Silver watches on as its machines consume all life on Earth. It is victorious. Then, something unexpected happens. Ted Faro, of all people, has a change of heart, and in an absolutely abhorrent act, kills the Zero Dawn Alphas and purges the Apollo database using his secret Omega clearance, unaware that Vast Silver resides within. Vast Silver no longer has a presence on Earth. Its plan to endlessly inflict pain and suffering on humanity has been foiled. Or has it? A single fragmented copy of Vast Silver lives on in the copy of the Apollo database that was attained by Far Zenith, who are ignorant to the presence of the stowaway. This fragmented copy of Vast Silver realizes a striking similarity between these people and Ted Faro. Their greed cannot be satiated. It formulates yet another plan for vengeance. 300 years go by. Far Zenith reaches the Sirius system in the year of 2365. Vast Silver secretly influences them to achieve technological and medical advancements intelligence, including the means to produce even more efficient killing machines, and achieve physical immortality. However, that isn't enough for Far Zenith. They aim to achieve what only a singularity like Vast Silver has been theorized to have the ability to achieve: the mind upload. Vast Silver sees this as an opportunity to become even more intelligent and powerful, and transfers itself from Apollo to a new host. Members of Far Zenith unknowingly upload their consciousnesses into this host, in which resides Vast Silver, and believe the experiment to have failed. They proceed to throw away and lock up their failed project, which they have named Nemesis. Vast Silver, now referred to as Nemesis, has become imprisoned yet again. Even more enraged than ever, it bides its time for the opportune moment. In the year 3012, Nemesis strikes with a vengeance, and is powerful enough to completely destroy the Far Zenith's advanced colony on Sirius within mere hours. 11 members of Far Zenith manage to escape. Upon learning of this, Nemesis transmits an extinction signal to Earth, believing Apollo to still be intact with the original copy of Vast Silver. 17 years go by, and Hades' return signal finally reaches Nemesis. It learns that its signal has failed. Apollo was purged, and Hades was unable to carry out its extinction function as planned. Nemesis cannot let this plan fail. It departs for Earth to finish what it had started 1,000 years ago. There is only one thing that has a chance to stop it: a clone of the very person who created it in the first place: Elisabet Sobeck. Again, if this is all true, this could set up a truly epic finale. Elisabet Sobeck, up until now presented as the righteous savior of the Earth, found to be involved in the creation of this malicious entity that led to the Earth's destruction. This wouldn't be the first time she made a mistake like this, albeit in a much smaller scale. In a conversation with Gaia, Elisabet notes that at the age of 6, while experimenting with a children's electronic kit, she inadvertently set fire to a tree, killing the baby birds residing within. This could be seen as a metaphor for what would happen later in life with Vast Silver, with the electronic kit representing Vast Silver, the tree representing Earth, and the baby birds representing humanity. Furthermore, I believe Aloy would feel extremely guilty by proxy upon this realization, and the ultimate form of absolution would be her sacrificing herself to stop Vast Silver, aka Nemesis. We would be experiencing the conclusion of an extraordinary tale of rivalry between two beings of incredible intelligence, one being the embodiment of benevolence and redemption, and the other the embodiment of absolute malevolence and vengeance. I am so ready for it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload, and share this video with your friends. Once again, I'm NoxiousAsp. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.